Guys, it's GenX Granny here. Today I want to talk to you about aging and substance abuse. Now, most of us have partied at some point in our life. We've either been going out to the pub every 5 minutes or, smoked a lot of cigarettes or, we've done stronger and worse things than that. So, we've all got our own story and our own path with that. Some people have never tried drugs or alcohol. That's fantastic. Some people lead very pure lives. I know that they're probably the minority, but it's great that there's people out there that are like that. Even so, I do know people that have had, pretty healthy lifestyles that have aged a lot because of something else, It might be something out of their control, like a chronic illness or something like that. But a lot of the time it's sun exposure. So just having a healthy diet on its own and avoiding alcohol and coffee and drugs and things like that isn't necessarily enough. You should probably also be using a really good moisturizer and keeping your face especially out of the sun as much as you can. In regards to any kind of substance abuse, I think there's a big difference between if you have to go there, if you have to try something and no one's going to talk you out of it, try to, use whatever it is in moderation. So whether you're drinking or, smoking or whatever you're doing, if you're doing it every weekend, you're going to have see-through teeth and a pretty awful looking head within a few years. I've seen some people that were in their 20s end up with transparent teeth within a few months from taking ecstasy. I think nowadays you guys are calling them pingers. From taking them every weekend. So it doesn't take long for that sort of thing to catch up with you. Also with MDMA-based substances, it does seem to affect people's serotonin levels, which means they're more prone to depression and things like that. So if you do insist on taking a substance like that, I would limit it to once or twice a year. I wouldn't be taking it every weekend or even every month if you want to look and feel good in the long term. There are other ways to get a buzz. Sometimes eating well and having a good sleep is great. For me, I like to have a few drinks when I go out. I used to have very poor self-control with drinking. I've never been an alcoholic, but I have been a regular binge drinker, which is pretty bad. I was at one point drinking 2 or 3 days a weekend, not to the point where I was utterly shit-faced. I was probably having about 5 to 8, maybe 10 drinks at the most. That might seem like quite a lot, but I'm part Scottish and it was barely putting a dent in me. So, but it was a problem. And when I stopped doing that every weekend, I ended up looking a lot better, feeling a lot better. I dropped a lot of weight, and now I can have a few drinks and go out. I get bad hangovers, so I try to make sure that I don't have any more than, say, 3 or 4 at the moment. I don't have the time to nurse a hangover, and these days, because I'm in my 50s, I'll get a hangover for up to 3 days. That's a lot of time wasted just for a few hours of fun. I try not to drink that much. But I'm not a saint, so I will still have a drink here and there. And, I don't think I'll ever be completely able to give up coffee and all the stuff that's bad for you. So I think the way to navigate that is to just simply create rules for yourself about how much you're allowed to have and when. For example, caffeine. If I have more than 1 coffee a day, I end up a bit of a nervous wreck. And despite the fact that all these things were going wrong for me, I kept that up for, years. So now I've learned to just have a coffee in the morning just to get the old heart started, get the eyes open, and then that's it. If I feel any kind of energy lags in the afternoon, my rule is to have fruit juice or fruit or, something like that, just to give me a bit of a boost. I've also done a bit of my own investigating into what food combinations use a lot of your energy and make you feel sluggish. So that's a whole other subject. You can look it up on Google, whatever. Yeah, so basically, I have learnt myself to moderate the substances that I do take, whether it's caffeine or alcohol, and it's really changed my life. I do feel a lot better. I fortunately was a single mother early in life, so while a lot of my friends around me were experimenting with different things, even though I did partake now and then, I was doing it a lot less than everyone else around me, which was in the long run really good. So I've never had any mental health issues. I've not had any physical issues that I'm aware of due to substance abuse early in life, unlike some people I know. So if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're listening to this right now, just have a little think about where you're going to be in the not too distant future. Do you want to still look attractive when you're 50 or 60, or do you want to have, your looks burnt out? Do you want to have mental health issues and things like that? Probably don't. So start curbing your lifestyle a little bit. I'm not telling you to be a saint. I'm telling you to work out a way to moderate your intake. And if you give it up, then that's great. But in the meantime, if you're doing certain things every weekend, you might want to think about winding it back to perhaps just on your birthday and maybe New Year's Eve or something like that. Because, doing certain things every weekend, whether it's binge drinking or some other sort of substance, it really will impact you and you will regret it down the track. So, find a way of enjoying yourself moderately, rather than drinking every weekend. Perhaps you can nominate to be the driver every second weekend, just something, try anything. It's really worked for me. It's I feel and look good for someone in their 50s, and I'd like to see that for you as well. So just put a few rules in place for yourself and make sure you live by them. Good luck.